investigating all three, it will take enormous time. I'll just go one by one. Why I'm saying there were two Shaka eras. If you see, there is a one inscription found in southern Karnataka. It is referring to Shaka 2027. Now, in Karnataka 1 and 2, you are writing totally differently. There is no way you can say it's a scribble error. So 2027, if you had 78, 2105, it means this inscription is a future. You have to wait another 70, 80 years. Another inscription, Vijayanagara, it is referring to Shaka 1975. It is 2053, means another 30 years you have to wait for this inscription. And another Hoysala inscription is referring to 1919. It is 1997. I don't think, probably the Devagoda was the chief minister at that time. Not any Hoysala king was ruling in Karnataka. Then historians came up, means the colonial historians came up with the forged inscriptions. Many inscriptions have been forged. These are the Pimpleneer grant. It is dated in Shaka 310. If you had 78, 388. But it is written in Nagari script. How Nagari script was evolved in 388? So that's why it is forgery. So they declared it as a forgery because you can't date so early Chalukya King Satyashraya since it is written in Nagari. What I'm saying, this is actually referring to first into 78 AD epoch, not the 583 BC. If you differentiate, then you can. What I did, I have almost investigated more than 20,000 inscriptions published with reference to those inscriptions refer to the Shaka Samvat. There are numerous inconsistencies, even astronomical details as well as the dating. But when you segregate all inscription to two categories, into the ancient Shaka era and the later Shaka era, then you can reconcile every inscription perfectly. Then what would be the best model? If your model is rejecting lot of data, there may be something wrong in your model. Don't reject the data. But in the colonial timelines, what we did, we rejected the data, whatever if it is not following their model of chronology. So, and this inscription referred to a solar eclipse, and that perfectly matches with the 18th August 388. But historians thought it's a forgery. There are 6 inscriptions, copper plate inscriptions have been found, where the Vinayaditya inscriptions are all, these are all 6 inscriptions written in Devanagari script, Nagari script. But these inscriptions refer to Shaka. What I did, I just differentiated Shaka, Shakanta to make it 583 BC as a Shaka, 78 as a Shakanta. Because Bhaskaracharya mentions Shakanipas Syante Kaler Vatsara. He is actually referring to 78 AD as Shakanripas Syante. So that's why I made it Shakanta. So these all 6 copper plate grants have been rejected as a forgery. Why? Because written in Devanagari but dated in a very earlier than the early Chalukyas. Their inscriptions have been written in southern script. This is the recently found copper plate. 2 copper plates have been found in Talagunda in Karnataka. One copper plate is referring to is the Kalachuri king Chankama. It is dated Shaka 1102. And another copper plate is Vinayaditya, is written Shaka 520. And both have been written the same script. It is not possible. There is a difference of 600 years on 60 in both inscriptions. And there are cross references also. I have seen the borders of the land piece. Same borders have been mentioned here also, and there is a cross reference because this Shaka 1102 has been given to a grandfather, and Shakanta 520 has been given to a grandson to there is a 3 generations difference. Now the historians have no other option to reject this Vinayaditya 520 as a forgery, because you cannot have a how to explain this. So it is this 520 is referring to a solar eclipse, and it exactly matches 30th April 599 C. If you differentiate between Shaka and Shakanta, then both copper plates are valid and authentic. We have just forwarded the Chalukya chronology by 661 years, assuming the only 78 AD. This is the reason why Varahamira is referring to 427 Shaka, but still he was living in the 1st century BC. You start from 583 BC, then he is referring to a date around 156 BC as an epoch for in his Pancha Siddhantika. how I arrived this 583 BC, there is a one Kurtakoti, one copper plate. It is referring to a total solar eclipse occurred in Vaishakha Masa. And this total solar eclipse, because what I did, taking the longitude, latitude of Badami in northern Karnataka, how many total solar eclipses occurred between 500 BC to 500 AD? In 3000 years, these are only 10 solar eclipses occurred in northern Karnataka. Only one date matches with reference to that date. That is 9th May 53 BC. So you have to add this 530 years to 53 BC, 583 BC. So this is how we can discover the lost epoch of ancient Shaka Samvat. And these two monumental blunders, what I am saying, that 583 BC is the Shaka Samvat established by the Shaka kings, whereas the second, that 78 AD, is Indian astronomers established this epoch.